Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Murphy. We're talking to some of the world's biggest stars and some of my favourite people, and we've got a legend for you today. At 85-year-old, Vince Hill has decided enough is enough. He's walking away. The business hasn't retired him, he's retired them. And he's finishing with a huge, wonderful gig in Coventry on the 4th of June. You can see Vince Hill and friends, and I'm delighted to say that Vince joins me now. How are you, Vince?
I'm all right, thank you. Yeah, I'm after what you just said, I suddenly realise I'm a hard act to follow.
You've worked with some of the most incredible people. Just yesterday, I looked at the news and we'd got Jeremy Kyle this and Katie Price that and Gemma Collins this, and I thought, I think I'm going to retire because I don't care anymore. Look at the people you work with. What a privilege.
I know. It's incredible. It's I've worked with some wonderful people, but we all used the American bases when we were young and learning in this business. They were a good grounding. But I did make a big mistake when I started to do some impressions, and I started to do my Ken Dodd impression. I thought, no, this is a mistake to an American audience. So they did throw a few cans at me, but you learn by that.
And of course, your career started in Margate in Kent when you were just 15 years old. And here we are some 70 years later and you're still doing it. Is it still thrilling to have the pin focus on you?
Yeah, it is. But I have gone past that first flush of wonderful thrill that you get by just walking on the stage and hearing the applause and all that. Now, I have to say, I think, how can I put it without being sounding too harsh? My enthusiasm for it all now has waned somewhat. You know, it's just that I suppose I've got a right to do that. I'm 85 years old. When I get on the stage on June the 4th at Coventry, I shall be right there with bells on. You know, and it'll be like the first time I've ever walked on stage and the first time I've ever got a round of applause and an ovation. And I know that they'll be fantastic. There'll be a fantastic audience, and I'll have a wonderful time. You know, and but the good thing about it is it's going to be an afternoon show, and so that's really good for me because it means that by the time I'm finished, we'll be able to relax, take it easy, and go out somewhere for dinner, and not worry about having to drive home.
Yeah.
That was always the thing for all of us. We always hated that. You finish, you come out of a theatre about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and then if you're not going to go into a theatre, if you're not going to go into a hotel, then you're going to drive home, and I hated that. Yeah. I hated all of it. Yeah.
Let's just talk about Vince Hill and Friends for a moment. Your final performance, and as you say, June 4th. Now, you've got an interesting bill. My mate Duncan Novell will be on there. You've got the Ken McCarthy Trio. You've got Jane Horn too. I mean, it's a variety show, and I guess you were part of the halcyon days of variety.
I suppose so. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think probably you could almost say. I mean, we had some good days of variety, but it's probably the last days of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Those days of variety, they were fantastic.
Talk to me about your voice. When did you know that it was a voice that was good enough to be recorded and could end up in the charts? Because we all think we can sing. Who was the person who sort of inspired you to take it further and take it seriously?
Well, I have to be honest, I've got two favourite singers, but Tony Bennett was always my favourite since I was very young. Since his early days of Rags to Riches, remember that song? I know I go from rags to riches. I loved him, always have loved him, and latterly I have grown to like. I really turned to Sinatra, and when I listen to him, I know that Sinatra has had some good coaching, and I know he has by the way he breathes, the way either that or he's worked with some good musicians because he breathes like a musician, he breathes like a trombone player or something. You know, he's got that ability, and he never loses it. He never loses his way on a phrase or anything like that. That's Sinatra, and the way he produces his notes, and I've only really turned onto him now in this last 2 or 3 years, and I suddenly think you you've been missing a lot and not caring very much about him, because I was so into Tony Bennett, and I still am. I mean, I love him. They're two people, and Bennett really has always influenced me. Always, I love him. I love his style. He's so cool as well when you see him. Have you ever watched him?
Absolutely.
Very little, very, very, very little. He's not flashy, not showy, but something about him. I don't know what it is, but when he came on at the Albert Hall last year, as soon as he walked in, just to walk on stage in a lounge suit, nothing flashy or anything like that. The whole audience, sort of 5,000 people, just stood up for him. It's wonderful to see, and it's very much revered, and I love it. Yeah.
And again, when you go back to Sinatra, you look at the way he delivered a melody and a lyric. I mean, when I was 17, something like that, there's a pathos and tragedy about it, isn't there? It's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Is that the key to singing a song well? I mean, something like Edelweiss. Is it understanding the words and not throwing them away?
Yes, it's understanding the words. It's breathing properly, and not running short of breath and breathing in the wrong places. I get irritated with it when I hear kids and young singers on the X Factor and things like that. Mind you, does it matter? No, it doesn't, because they'll probably go away and sell 1 million records if they win the record. If they win the show. It's
well, and the good thing is they win it, sell 1 million records, and then go away literally. So we don't have to worry. Next year there'll be a new one. That's the good
there
thing.
will be. But sometimes these kids, they do that, and then they go away, they carry on, and some of them do carry on, and they make more money in a year than I ever made in 10. Sometimes it's ludicrous.
Yeah,
it's ludicrous, the kind of money that they get now. I think that money over here now for big stars, if you make it like that, I think it's on a par with America. I mean, everybody who looks at America and says, "Oh, that's the pot of gold. That's where you get the money." But it can be earned over here. There's big venues, big money, but maybe America still is the place to go. I don't know. I nearly did it years ago when Edelweiss started to. It did chart, but it didn't. It got in the Hot 100, I think, or something like that. I had a house up there. I had a house in Laguna, which is just south of LA, Los Angeles, and it was wonderful. And Laguna is just a beautiful place. And I had agents because when Edelweiss happened, they wanted me. They wanted, but times again were different, and they said, "Yeah, well, come over. We'd love to have you, but the trouble is we can't handle you for 5,000 miles away." They said, "What we want you is at short notice. If we want you on the Jack Parr show, we want you like tonight or tomorrow." That's the way America's always been anyway, like that. We want it now, come now,
It was so exciting. Last night I saw a guy called Rich Little who covered the Tonight Show, I think 35 times or something.
He's been around years, Rich Little. He's wonderful.
Again, you look at the legends he worked with, as did you, and another time, 67 was the year that Edelweiss broke. I wonder whether that was the most exciting year for you. When you have that first flash of megastardom, is that the most exciting?
It was pretty well, yeah, because it happened so quick. We talked about doing Edelweiss, and people were asking me to sing it constantly when I was doing gigs around the country. And I put it to my recording manager. He said he didn't see a guy called Bob Barrett. He said he couldn't see the idea. He didn't think it was, suitable for as a chart hit. But he then came to me quite some time afterwards, months afterwards, and said, that song Edelweiss you were telling me about. I said, yeah. He said, well, there's a version of it around in the Irish charts, so maybe we should do it. And I said, okay. Well, by that time I was very familiar with the song, and he said, right, Studio 2, here am I, Abbey Road, let's do it. We went in with a lovely orchestra, it's wonderful. It's a thrill just walking over the threshold of Abbey Road. And I've been across that crossing many, many times because so much of my stuff was done in Abbey Road. And anyway, we went in and like 2 takes because I was very familiar with the song, and we did it. And as soon as it was sort of done and, mixed and so on and so forth, it goes to go through that, but quite a quick process. And it came out on a Friday, as records used to then, and it was a hit on Monday. It had just gone he said, nobody understood why it was such a hit so quickly, and it was literally a hit, an overnight hit. It really was then. And yes, it was a great thrill. It was. Suddenly I thought, I'd been around 7 or 8 years by then, still working, still flogging my mutton all over the country and trying and making records wherever we could and whenever we could. And suddenly this one goes bop, and the rest is history, as they say. I had a few, then like Lowy on Rose, Take Me to Your Heart Again, the old Edith Piaf song. We had that. That was halfway up the charts. But then Edelweiss just changed everything. Yeah, it was a great thrill.
I noticed it went in at number 2. Who was the pesky person who kept you off number 1?
I don't wish to talk about
that. Quite right, I don't blame you.
Me and Engelbert are on pretty good terms, although I don't see him, I hardly ever see him. But we were number 1 and number 2 at the same time, It's incredible. Those were great days.
Talk to me about your new album, The Lost Sessions, before we go. And again, this wonderful tribute to your music, 69 through 91. Again, to hear these back, is it like hearing your grandson, or is it you still thinking of yourself as a 35-year-old man?
I don't know about thinking of myself as a 35-year-old man, but do you know the story of it? We were searching around in my old lock-up and garage, and there's this old case there with all these tapes and things in. And I said, what are all these? They go back ages. Some of them did go back 30 years or more. They were old demos that I'd done, some of them. And then we started to dig around. Some of them were finished records, finished tapes, that were never been put onto albums at all. And there's 2 particularly on the album. One is called In the Mist of the Morning, which is a beautiful Cook and Greenaway song, and they've written a few. The lads, I knew them when they were kids over here, struggling like all of us, but they wrote a couple of hits and, went to live in America, and they've done very well for themselves. And it was just a beautiful song. But In the Mist of the Morning, a Neil Sedaka song, and I've done a whole album of Neil Sedaka songs called Sing a Song of Sedaka. Yeah. And that wonderful song that he wrote years ago, and it hardly gets heard, and it's called Going Nowhere. And it's absolutely, we dug it, got it played the record, played the tape actually, or it was unbelievable. Couldn't believe why it hadn't got onto the record. And it was the same with In the Mist of the Morning. It never got onto any album. And so we made sure that both of them are on the Lost Sessions, yeah.
Is it the same for us as you, that it takes you back to that place when you hear a song? Because that's the wonderful thing music does. The first time you hear it, you can often remember where you were. It's the magic of music, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Some of them, particularly, there's one on it, the first song on the album, and I well remember writing it now, and it was just simple time. It was only on about 3 chords, and I was just plunking on the piano, and suddenly it started to come to life, called Without You. Again, I got a couple of musicians in, my pianist and me, and we did it, and there it laid. And never did anything with it all those years, and suddenly we played it, and I said, what have we been doing? Why have not we done anything with this? And so it's the first one on the album, and it's a great song. I'd love to hear Shirley Bassey do it. I think she'd do a great job of it.
Yeah, I'm sure she would.
But there's so many songs on the album that 90% of the songs on there are written by Ernie and myself, Ernie Dunstall. And Ernie Dunstall was my pianist for about 22 years. When he went, he was torn away from me by money. I think it was. Right. Somebody offered him ridiculous, because he was brilliant. He was a brilliant background man. He was a brilliant pianist. He was a brilliant creator, and when I say creator, I mean creator. He created some wonderful bits of material. That's what he could do. That was his forte. As much as arranging the music, he could write it and create these wonderful bits of just material that would last sort of 5 and 10 minutes at a time. All big medleys and things about. I mean, when I was doing the shows in the 60s and 70s, I did like one of those. It could be a Jerome Kern, it could be a medley, it could be a tribute to Sinatra. It could be a big musical like Man of La Mancha, a bigger chunk from that. All kinds. I did one of those a week. They need a lot of learning as well because of the range of them and also the changes, the key changes. Constantly you're moving, going from one song to another, and a change of key, but they were just wonderful things. And he was. We were together for about 22 years. We wrote lots and lots of songs together. And funnily enough, from when he finally left and went, well, we're still great friends. I mean, we still talk, but he's finished with it now. He's older than me. He's about 80. He's about 86, I think, 87.
Wow.
But he sort of had enough of it. But once he left, I had no heart for writing anymore. And it's funny, we were just a good writing team together, and I haven't written, I don't think, anything very much since. It's funny. That's the way it is.
What a remarkable life and career. The final farewell, the 85th birthday goodbye show will be appearing at the Belgrade Theatre in Coventry on June the 4th. Vince Hill and friends with an all-star cast, special guests, and of course the man himself. The new album is available. You can get it via the website vincehill.co.uk. What an honour and a thrill. Thank you so much for your time, Vince, and I wish you every happiness.
There'll be a lot of people, I'm sure, that actually, when I'm up there, I think there's going to be a lot of people that you would know, actually. I don't know if you ever remember a guy called Duncan Norvell.
I do, very much.
Great comic, great impressionist, wonderful impressionist, and he doesn't work too much now because he had a stroke about 5 years ago or more, and but he still does his impressions are wonderful. He's a lovely guy, and he's going to be on there with me. I'm looking forward to seeing him again. He
actually phoned me a couple of days ago, and he's very, very excited to do it, and he's a wonderful act and turn too. So
really,
yeah,
he called you.
Yeah, I love him very much. Yeah, top man.
Oh, he's a lovely guy, isn't he?
Vince, great to talk to you. Have a wonderful retirement, and we wish you all the very best. June the 4th is the big day at the Belgrade Theatre to see Vince Hill and friends. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. It's been wonderful talking. It's great.